Ah. The fuck are you doing?
Shush, just be patient.
Bicycle.
Thank you. Two, please.
I love a challenge. Hold this.
Mate, we've just made tonight amazing.
I want to ride around on a fucking bike.
Oh, come on, it'll be fun.
Voila. 60 euros.
Have 100.
Thank you.
Here.
Get away from me.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't want it.
Mate, we take the bikes, we find a windmill.
No, I said no.
Why the fuck not?
I don't know how to ride a bike.
No refund.
Fucking hell, Roy. Do you have to tie your own laces?
Stop being a dick. When I went to Sunderland, my granddad told me he'd teach me how to ride when I came back for Christmas, and then he fucking died, and I haven't been on a bike since. And now saying that out loud, I realise that never learning was actually a great disrespect to his memory, and now I feel ashamed. So can we stop talking about it and go back to me just taking out my negative emotions on you, even if you deserve it or not?
Go on, Roy. For Grandad.
Fuck.
Welcome to another episode of the Revisited Podcast. I'm Ben.
And I'm Kristin. This week we are revisiting Ted Lasso Season 3, Episode 6, Sunflowers, or as we like to call it, the Amsterdam episode.
The Amsterdam episode. Tulips. Tulip.
Tulips.
Tulip. He just went to see Tulip.
I believe this is some of my favorite Danny stuff. Oh, what is it that he says? It's the funniest part.
You wrote it in Spanish.
Yeah.
Someone
wrote it in Spanish. Yes. I think somebody picked Tulip. Yes, but who?
We are in Amsterdam. We should get Dutch food. So you've been saying for a while now that this is this is your favorite episode of the entire series.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I watched this episode twice in preparation for this. I remember loving this episode the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
And in the two subsequent rewatches, both last night and this morning, getting ready for this, I can officially confirm the same thing. This is my favorite episode of the entire, with minus maybe excluding the finale, the series finale, because that is just a wonderful episode.
Well, the finales are always different, for any show. I mean, any show that I watch, like Big Bang Theory is a really good example. The finale is the best finale I've ever seen for any television show. That includes The Office.
I watched that with you. You watched the Big Bang finale at my house.
I did.
You and your husband both.
But my favorite episode isn't the finale, even though it's the best finale I've ever seen.
What's your favorite episode of that show?
Oh, well, it's a toss-up.
Okay.
I love the adhesive duct deficiency, where Penny dislocates her shoulder and Sheldon has to take her to the ER. And then on the flip side of things, the boys are camping and eat old ladies' the weed cookies.
Brownies.
Yeah.
Are the cookies, yeah.
And they eat all of the brisket.
My mom made a backup brisket.
And then my other favorite episode is when Raj does the scavenger hunt and Howard and Amy Farrah Fowler are put together and their love for Neil Diamond comes out.
The Neomobile.
Oh my God. To the Neomobile. Seriously. So funny. So freaking funny.
Not to get too far off track too, but my favorite part of that episode is the fact that Sheldon packed a bowling ball.
My brain is better than
everybody's. When he realizes he actually gets to use it. It's such a great moment.
And Raj put together something really nice. And I love it that Stuart's like, so whenever you're planning these things, does my name ever come up?
It's so damn funny. But let's get back to this episode. As you said, Ted Lasso, season 3, episode 6, Sunflowers. By the end of this episode, we are officially halfway through the final season of Ted Lasso.
And what
as
a
always,
way to reset the season too.
Man, I'm like, it's from this point forward, like it's a different Richmond team. As per usual,
cut out the cancer.
Yeah. Well, as per usual, we're gonna keep this as spoiler free as possible. For those of you that are doing a first watch, we will do a spoiler full conversation a little bit later on. If you don't want to listen to it, just check the show notes to find out when to skip, and then come back for favorite quotes, recommendations, and feedback. Richmond is still very down and out by the beginning of this episode. They lose 5-0. It's
the saddest time I've ever heard Bob Marley played.
Well, Rebecca even says, like, this song is so depressing.
I know.
Which leads to a fantastic bookend of this episode, by the way.
Yes, because they end the show with them singing that song.
With smiles on their faces.
Well, big smiles.
Yeah. Yeah, big, everybody on the bus is singing along to that song by the end of this episode. It's an incredible way to use music to bookend this episode.
Even Roy was singing begrudgingly, but I made sure
I checked too.
He was stiffly bobbing his head back and forth, like, oh, I hate this.
Yeah. I checked as well, and it's one of those things where, like, so I wasn't. When I did the watch last night, I always do 2. I do the watch the night before. That's kind of like just no notes. The fan watch, just to remind myself of the episode. And then the notes one is always before we record. And I even said, I was like, you know what? Like, there's so much that happens in this. I'm sure I probably don't have to take notes. We can just kind of like wing it. Because between the two of us, we'll cover most of it. And I still ended up making a bunch of bullet points to stuff. But it comes down to this. There are 5 distinct stories with one that branches off into a 6th. So we have Rebecca and the Stranger. That's one story that's told. We have Ted. Coach is his own thing. So, like, we don't even worry about that. We have Higgins and Will. Mm-hmm. We have Jamie and Roy.
Yeah.
And then we have the team, which branches off into Colin.
Oh, yeah, Colin.
So by the end of this, we do have 6 stories. So I figure, and they are all separate. Like, they don't intermix at all, which is such great writing. And to fit it, I think this is also the first episode of the series that goes over an hour.
Yes, it is the longest episode at that point to date.
Yeah. That's
1 hour and 3 minutes.
Yes. So to fit 6 stories like this into an hour and do it exceptionally well, like without like
nobody had a lesser story.
Yeah. They every story gets its time and none of it feels like filler.
So a little background on this episode, for anybody that doesn't know, and I don't know if you know this, but the concept of Ted Lasso was actually thought of by Jason Sudeikis and Brendan Hunt in Amsterdam while they were shrooming.
Really?
Yeah.
That I did not know.
Yeah. So I think it was, and now I'm going on conjecture here because I can't remember, because I remember reading that and going, "Ooh, I got to save that." And I skimmed the rest of the article. But I think that's why they wanted an Amsterdam episode, was to pay homage to that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And God, that makes me love this episode even more now.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me love this episode even more. So with those stories being broken up, rather than kind of jump around like we usually do, I figured for this episode, let's choose one of the stories.
Yep.
Let's talk about our notes for that story, and then we can move on to another one. Because again, there's not a lot of crossover between these stories.
There's almost no crossover. There's no crossover.
Well, other than the fact that some of the stories start with one and then kind of branch off into their own separate.
Yeah.
Mainly Colin and Trent branch off from the team. Because they start with the team and then they kind of go off on their own little adventure. Which one do you want to talk about? We got Jamie and Roy, we got Rebecca, we've got Ted, we've got Higgins and Will, we've got the team, and then we've got Colin and Trent.
I think we need to start with the team.
Okay, fair enough.
And the big reason why is because, I mean, at the heart of this, I really think that, the show is about this team, right?
Yeah.
And they have forgotten how to work as a team. They were perfect. They were fine. Jamie was right. They didn't need Zava to come on their team. And what happened was exactly what Jamie knew was going to happen. The team devolved into this horrible, non-functioning mess that Zava left in his wake on his way to be an avocado farmer, watching his wife for the rest of his life. And I think that it was really smart to have Jamie and Roy section off from the team, because the team needed to figure out who they were again. And this was such a perfect catalyst to do that. Sitting in the lobby, Isaac decides that they're all going to decide where they're going to go, which it's 19 people that are just going to go out on this tiny little town with these tiny little streets.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a recipe for disaster, but whatever. And they have to figure out if they want to go to a sex show, which sounds awful, or an all-night party 2 hours away, sounding equally awful.
Thank you. I am in complete agreement. And neither one of those things. I would much rather go with Danny to see a tulip.
Yeah. I would
choose,
have written tulip in English. But yes.
Or I would have written movie night.
Movie night / pillow flight / tulip.
Tulip.
I love that Danny never gave up. And my guess is that he continued writing tulip because he didn't want to do either of those things.
Which is fair. I mean, I also think Danny just really wanted to see a tulip.
Yes, but who? Who wrote it? Who wrote it in Spanish?
You wrote it in Spanish.
Yes, someone wrote it in Spanish.
Someone wrote it in Spanish.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Danny is perfect. He is perfect and needs to be protected at all costs. No
Such
matter
great
what.
Danny moments. It's great.
Someone wrote tulip. I can't get over it. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. But yeah, like we see, like the team is, you're right. Like Zava came in and the team became dependent on Zava, and now without him they are completely lost. And it's apparently clear because they've been losing games constantly. They lost a friendly match like 5-0.
That is an annihilation.
Even in a friendly match, because in friendly matches, like, well, and that's what they call them, exhibitions, friendlies, whatever you want to call them, like no team plays to the top of their caliber because you don't want to risk injuries or anything like that.
It's like the All-Star game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it's a very loose, casual game. So to still lose 5-0 in a friendly match or an exhibition match speaks really highly about how low this team is at this point.
Mm-hmm. And and their heads are hanging low as they're walking off the field. They just have lost their mojo. Everything that they had worked so hard to build by the beginning of season 3 was decimated by one person in a span of half a season. And that really speaks to poisonous people in our life. I mean, we all can think of people in our lives, either in a grand scheme of things or your own personal family, your friend group, your political affiliation, it doesn't matter. There is one person that has this weird ability to come in and just atomic bomb everything in your life and then leave. And they're fine and you're not.
And you're left with the wake of,
and
of
that's
the damage
kind
that was
of
done.
and that's kind of what's happened. And we've got a lot of that, throughout this series. You have Dr. Jacob that came in and hydrogen bombed Ted's marriage. You have Rupert coming in and buying West Ham just to spite Rebecca, which really firebombs all of the progress that Rebecca has made.
Mm-hmm.
We could probably spend some time and just look at all of the things that have happened over the series, but this one is really in your face. And this speaks to, and we've talked about this at length, this speaks to the toxicity of those really big players that are only in it for themselves and they're not in it for the sport, the team, the greater good. They're just in it to, quote unquote, get theirs and leave.
Yeah.
And so I think that seeing the team come back from that, the way that they did, that resulted in this pillow fight, that's all their frustration of what's been going on. Even Isaac said, what are we going to do with all this rage that we have inside of us? It's not from the arguing all night. It's from they're mad. They're mad at everything that has happened to them after working so hard, and Zava leaves and they don't know who they are. And they're having this losing season. They're mad. They don't know where to put their frustration, and putting it into that pillow fight and just letting loose and letting themselves get it out in a healthy way, I think was the best thing that they could have done for the team.
Well, not only that, and I agree with everything that you said too, but I think one of the other things that kind of comes from this whole scene with the team is that now that Zava is gone, they are trying to find another commonality between all of them. Mm-hmm. And when you have this conversation about like, okay, let's choose what to do, and everybody has different ideas, and then you finally come to a decision begrudgingly, because obviously Zora or Van Damme, whatever he's calling himself at this point, like he's like, okay, like fine, we'll just go with this. And then Jan Mas comes in, or not Jan, oh God, what's the Frenchman's name? I just had it in my head.
Oh yeah, I
just had it. He's like, well, we need to eat. Okay, what are we going to eat? And now you have, again, all these diversive personalities coming in and it's conflicting with each other. This team is struggling to find a commonality between themselves. They had it with Zava because they idolized him. Mm-hmm. And now that that's gone, they need to find not just a commonality between them, but a level commonality, like not something above them, but something on their level to bring them together. And that pillow fight, I think, comes to that too, because it's just, again, it's like you mentioned, releasing all this pent up rage that they've been carrying with them since losing Zava and then losing all of the games since.
Yeah.
But now they're just together as a team.
Yeah, Isaac says, enough. We are riven by this crossroads. Is this it? Should we huddle around the laptop for a movie night? How else do we proceed? How doth we channel this lack of compromise, this dissension, this rage? That was not about their discussion. That was about their season. Yeah,
they needed to get this release of frustration.
Yes.
It needed to come out somehow. I mean, and you know what? Short of going to like a rage room, a pillow fight is a great alternative.
I've always wanted to go to a rage room, just as an aside. If anybody wants to like schedule something for me or anything like that, I want to go to a rage room and break some shit. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. So but seeing the team finally come together on this and not just find a way to release this rage, but do it in such a fun way. Because you can tell by the end, when they're having this pillow fight, they're not attacking each other to hit each other. They're having fun. Like they are having an absolute blast. The servers are there. They're drinking, just watching these guys have a pillow fight. There are people coming down into the room and
leaving immediately
because they don't know what the hell is going on.
I love it that Isaac comes up with that pink whatever it is, and he like goes, okay, go, and then he runs out like he's like, no, mama,
Well, that's the captain in him too. Like, he's the one that's starting this. He's the one that needs to let this team release this.
He
this
also
frustration.
needs to be the captain again. They have deferred to Zava. Even Isaac deferred to Zava. He forgot how to be a leader just as much as they all forgot how to be a teammate. I mean, it has been the Zava show.
Well, there's another quick indication too as to how cancerous Zava is in this episode, and it's, I mean, you can catch it. It's very clear as day. But
Is it the poster?
It's the sign on the wall.
Yeah.
It says Zava 2013 to 2013, and this is in New Amsterdam, so this is clearly that team.
Yeah.
Had Zava at some point for a year or less.
Yeah. And it's crazy because the fans are still like, we want to see Zava. Like, I got to tell you, if somebody came in and
No Zava, why bother?
No,
That
but
was
like,
the sign the fan had.
If a player came in and destroyed my team and then left for another team, I would hold such hatred and resentment. And as far as I know, football is a maniacal sport for fans. So I'm surprised that they were welcoming him back. Does that make sense?
No, and I agree with you too, because even I often wondered that why Richmond would even bring him on. Like, how does he have this reputation of being such this amazing player when he's jumps from team to team to team to team? Like
LeBron James. Oh gosh. God, I had that in my
Not to go on that tangent again.
Well, we've done that.
But one of my favorite things in this episode, and we'll talk a little bit more about it when we get to his story, is the fact of who they use in this episode. It's not LeBron. It's, in my opinion, the GOAT, and that's Jordan.
Yeah, I know. Listen, if I didn't love Kobe the way that I loved Kobe,
Jordan would be, yeah.
I would agree with you, but I love Kobe the way that I love Kobe.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with that.
Oh, right,
I'm not arguing with that at all.
To me, I think that they're equal. They were both coached by the same man. They were both led by the same, the same mentality and the same values as far as basketball goes, and that team mentality goes, and making your team better, which is what both of those players did. LeBron doesn't do that, right? LeBron is a Zava, period. Yeah, exactly. All right, so I think unless kind of we have more to talk about with the team, I think maybe let's just continue with this, and let's dive into the story that kind of branches off from this one, and that's Colin and Trent. It's hard to rank all of these stories. Colin and Trent is up there, and I think, remembering correctly from first watch of season 3, I think this is the episode that made me fucking fall hard for Trent as a character. Well, I
was already there,
right?
But this episode is kind of like, Jesus, I adore this character so much. Yeah, and you really see the caring and insightful part of Trent come out. I mean, we already knew that he was those things, but the care that he took with Colin. And Colin really needed it. And Trent needed to be that person as well. They both helped each other in this episode. And that conversation that they had with each other about Colin living 2 different lives and the ache that he had. Do you know where they were? Did you read? They mention it in the conversation. Yeah. The church that they're in front of. Yeah.
No, not the church. No, the monument, the monument that they are sitting in front of, which I guess is called a homo monument, but it's
the pink triangle.
It's the pink triangle, right? That was dedicated to the Jews who were killed in camps during World War II. And then, of course, as they said, Anne Frank's house was right behind them, down the road a little bit. So it was a really lovely tribute to a couple of different historical important historical times for Amsterdam. And the way that they just wove that into Colin and Trent's subplot, I think was quite beautiful because of how Colin is trying to come to terms with his homosexuality. Trent has already come to terms with his homosexuality. And we get the story finally of how he came out to his wife. He had to come out twice.
Yep.
She didn't believe him.
And the fact that his daughter is completely approving of it, and like she's incredibly happy for her father in that case. Like this story, I agree with you completely. I think Trent was the person that needed to approach Colin about this. But as you also said too, I feel like Trent and Colin Trent finds comfort with Colin just as much as Colin finds comfort with Trent in this episode.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they are both outed. Well, they're not outed. It's never really revealed if Trent is closeted. I don't believe he is. I think he's just not public about it. I don't think he denies the fact. And I know people like this. I know people who are, open about it. Like they will talk to you about it, but they don't come out and just be like, oh, just want to let everybody know I'm gay. They like, I'm gay. If somebody asks me about it, I'll talk to them about it. I think Trent is kind of that kind of person.
Trent is the perfect journalist because he doesn't make the story about him. He shouldn't be sharing himself with others if he is an observer in a story. Mm-hmm. However, at this point, I think that Trent also sees himself as a part of the team. And when you're a part of a team, you want to help your teammates. And I think that that's what he was doing there. And I think that he became a part of the team. I mean, he was singing with them on the bus and everybody was more relaxed at the end. I mean, this was a defining moment for Trent and for Colin.
Yes.
Trent, I bet Trent now feels like, because I believe, and this isn't really a spoiler, so I don't have to save it, but I believe from this point on, we see Trent being a little bit more outward with his, with himself, with living in his truth. I think that he's just maybe more personable. Maybe he just allows himself to be who he is instead of hiding and observing. He is interacting and just living his own truth. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I know what you're saying. And I think the way I would put that is through Colin, Trent now has a commonality with this team. He has something in common now with at least one member of this team, which this team is a huge family. So if he has something in common with one, he's now relatable to all. Mm-hmm. Because he knows full well this team will support Colin if Colin ever decides to tell them the truth. Trent knows this just from being the observer that he is and seeing the team and knowing the team. But he knows that Colin needs to kind of realize this on his own. He can't just come out and tell Colin this. This is something that Colin needs to come to grips on himself. As for Colin, I don't know if it's necessarily, but maybe it is part of it. I don't know if this is necessarily Colin trying to find acceptance in his own sexuality. I think he's accepted who he is.
He's not a piece of shit.
Exactly. I think it's just a matter of he needs to find the balance between in his personal life. I think he's fully accepted who he is and what he wants. It's that dual life that he talks about that he has to find the balance between. I think it's the fear comes from not realizing that he's gay. It's the public image of it because of who he is. If that makes sense.
It'll change everything.
Yes, exactly.
For him in his career. And who knows who he has actually come out to? Has he come out to his family? Has he come out to his friends outside of the team? I mean, how secret is this side of him? We don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he's very clearly come out to some people because he has a partner.
Yeah.
So
except he talks about the fact that, partners, sometimes they're excited about the secrecy of it. And then after a while that kind of wears off and then they leave him. And it's just like this whole cycle because he is just not ready to live his life out loud because he is a famous footballer.
Yeah. But it also brings to mind too, that like, that's also a risk for Colin as well. because any one of those people that he's dated who know he's a professional football player could come out and say it. So
Yeah.
I think that's another fear of Colin's as well. And I think that's probably why he's very conservative about how he is with it and who he talks to about it.
Yeah, which kind of goes against what he did making out with his boyfriend or his date outside of Sam's restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, that was careless.
Well, especially considering that's how Trent found out.
Right.
That's how Trent discovered it. I love that part of the conversation too, when Trent's like, when Collins asks him, like, how did you know? And he's like, oh, it's my journalistic instinct.
Yeah.
No, I saw you kissing a guy outside of Sam's. He's like, oh, okay.
I thought that was hilarious.
So there is more to this conversation that I do want to discuss, but I have to save it for spoilers.
Okay. I do want to take this moment though, really quick to say and we're not in quotes, but I think that Colin's speech about his ache was just really beautiful.
Yeah.
So let me,
well, that's the part I actually want to talk about in spoilers.
Oh, okay. I was just going to read.
No, go ahead. Quote. You can read it. I'll dive more on my part of it when we dive into spoilers. Yeah.
So Colin says, well, my whole life is two lives, really. You've got my work life. Like no one at the club knows. I'd like to think that they wouldn't care, but it's just easier that way. Then you got my dating life. Some guys think it's hot. Others say they don't care, but eventually they get tired and they move on. Then the club brought in Dr. Sharon, and she helped me realize that I have an ache for both of my lives to be my only life. I don't want to be a spokesperson. I don't want a bunch of apologies. All I want is for when we win a match to be able to kiss my fellow the same way the guys get to kiss their girls. And I know we can't fix every ache inside of us, but I shouldn't have to pretend that it's not there either. Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
And it's, it really does sum up exactly everything that Colin's going through. Mm-hmm. And for him to kind of continuing on with that whole conversation about like him revealing this to Trent, I think Trent, again, was the perfect person for this to be. And one of the other things I really, really enjoyed about this whole story too was when after Colin goes into the bar, Prick, as it's called, such a great name for a gay bar. So good. With Thunderdong being their big event that night.
No, I love all of it.
I know it's great.
And all Colin wants is vanilla vodka.
I know. God, no. I love the fact that one of my favorite parts of the whole element of Colin and Trent is that when Trent comes in and Colin like obviously tenses up and he's like, can I get a drink for my work acquaintance? Because he doesn't want it to come approach that this is a guy he's seeing. Oh, does that say Thunderdong? I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong place. The bartender is great because he's like, this happens all the time. He knows this. But what I love is Trent's approach to Colin.
Yeah.
When he says, I think I saved the quote. It's not worth saving for quotes, but he says, Colin, I already knew. I've known for months. I haven't said anything to anyone. And I think the best part of this is when he says, I must have a good reason for that, mustn't I? Like, that's his, like, he's coming out to Colin in that for Colin to feel comfortable. Like, he's revealing something about himself.
Yeah.
To Colin to make Colin more comfortable. That's him taking a risk for Colin.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So,
Colin does recognize that risk.
Yeah, he does. He recognizes it immediately.
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah. Okay, sure.
I love Trent's approach to this whole, like that first approach to this whole thing. I thought that was just so well done. And of course, Trent knows how to properly do that because he's been through it. Mm-hmm.
But it is different for him. And I like that Trent acknowledges that. It's different for him as a journalist who's a little older to feel okay with coming out as who he is. Whereas Colin has a huge spotlight on him, a stigma when it comes to male sports. And I love that because Trent is a sports journalist, he understands that. And he understands the complexities of what Colin is going through. And he doesn't try to get him to do anything that he's uncomfortable doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, and at the same time, too, Trent's journalistic, expression comes into him, too, when he's genuinely curious about how Colin handles it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the journalist in Trent, but also connecting with Trent at the same time. Again, this episode made doubled my love for this character so much. I thought it was a great story.
I agree.
A great moment between them.
I agree.
Let's see. So
if we want to continue to break off from the team, I think that our next stop should be Higgins and Will.
It's gotta be Higgins and Will.
Okay, because I think I just want to start off by saying, knowing Higgins and the way that he is, can we just both agree that him telling everybody he's going to the red light district was to get a rise out of everybody? Because he knew exactly what that sounded like. He loves his word. He loves wordsmithing. He loves little puns, and he likes leading people astray. I think he did it as a lark. I think that he was like, I'm going to make a man out of Will and go to the red light district. And everybody's like, no.
I agree with you completely. I mean, they genuinely were going to the red light district, but not for the reason that everybody was like, nah, I want to start this story off by saying, though, too, like, there's a moment it's in the beginning of this episode. It's after the team is over, after the game is over and the team is kind of like wrapping everything up. There's that moment in the hallway where Will passes Higgins, and Will's got the big bag on his shoulder. He is hard at work. And there's this look that Higgins gives Will. And it's the moment, I think, that starts this whole journey between the two of them, because it's the moment that Higgins kind of realizes how hardworking Will really is. And Will needs this break.
He works so hard at a thankless job.
Yes. But it's almost like Higgins has this moment where, like, he sees Will, he sees how hard he works, and one, he wants to give him a break, but two, he kind of wants to maybe mentor him a little bit.
Will and Higgins have very similar roles. They're both in the background. They're both making sure everything operates the way that it should operate. And if both of them don't do their jobs, the team or the coaching staff will 100% suffer for it.
Yeah. But at the same time, very similar to Trent and Colin, and I didn't recognize this until my watch this morning. Will has an effect on Higgins, too, just as much as Higgins has the effect on Will. There is a reciprocal help and comfort between the two of them. And again, I didn't recognize it until my watch this morning.
Is it because Will gets him on stage?
No, well, yes, but it starts before that. It starts with where they sit. Because Higgins has that moment and he tells Will, like, oh, we're so exposed here. And I didn't pick up on that last night when I was watching, but I came to the realization Higgins, as much as he loves music and he loves to play, he's not very open about it. Other than Rebecca, nobody really knows that he plays. Well, Will knows too. But there's I think the reason why Higgins felt quote unquote exposed, or like he was going to be exposed, is because of how into it he gets. And that's the moment that the singer kind of sees him and says, hey, do you play? So Will picking that seat was really a release for Higgins, because it allowed Higgins to be that exposed, but look what that led to.
It led to a core memory for him.
Yes, being invited up on stage in Amsterdam to play with a jazz band.
Like a Chet Baker song.
Yes.
That was a Chet Baker song that he played, Let's Get Lost. Which is hilarious that they played Let's Get Lost. I mean, everything was just so wonderfully lined up.
And I want to say, too, going on to like a personal note, I can totally relate to this core memory because one of my core memories in life, see, I was a musician going through high school as well. And as anybody who's a musician through high school and loves jazz like Higgins does, anybody who's like that knows who Count Basie is and the Count Basie Orchestra. Now, when I was in high school, Basie had already passed. However, Count Basie Band played my high school. And the leader of that band went to my music director, who I'm still friends with to this day, and asked if he had any horn players who would like to sit in for 2 songs with the band. I was one of those 2 horn players that was chosen.
That's so cool.
I got to play with Count Basie's band in high school.
That is awesome.
So I still have the program from that show. The entire band signed it, everything. Like, I have pictures with Count Basie Band. I have pictures. I got to find them. There are pictures of me on stage playing with Count Basie Band. Like, that is a core memory for me. So I 100% get a core memory unlocked for Higgins to get on stage and play with this band.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I get it.
That's awesome. I'm very happy for Higgins and Will and their night. And we also learn that Will is a little creepy close to his mom. Because I don't know what son calls his mom to say that he was invited by another beautiful couple for a threesome.
And they also lead you wondering, did he do it?
Oh, yeah, he did.
You think he did?
Yeah, he nodded. She looked him up and down and he nodded. He's like, yeah, man, let's do this.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, very similar to how Jamie lost his virginity. Well, it's not known whether or not Will is a virgin or not.
Oh, I'll bet you he isn't. You don't dive into a threesome for your first time.
But didn't he also? Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think he was a virgin. But at the same time, too, talking about that club too, I love the moment where they're sitting at the table and the band starts to play, and Higgins is about to spout knowledge, and Will's like, no, because he wants to listen to the music
because he's very excited.
Yeah, he's getting into this. He's feeling Higgins's passion about music is rubbing off on Will. Yeah, from the stories that he's telling and. Just
if you go into anything with somebody that truly loves whatever you're about to do, you can't help but get caught up in the excitement. You just can't.
Yeah. I agree with that like 98% of the time. That's that way.
I teach reading to middle school people that don't want to look at a book. They want to look at TikTok. They want to look at YouTube. They want to look at Snapchat. And I am so excited about the books that I teach that I can see them getting excited. That's just how it goes. You know, if you're excited about something, you can carry another person through anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I think that happened. I think you're right. I think a majority of the time. Now, I mean, there's a couple things that somebody could be absolutely passionate about that I'd be like, no, thanks. Like if somebody took me on a tour of like all the Twilight shooting locations, I'd be like, no, thanks. I'm good.
Yeah.
Although Oregon is a beautiful state.
Washington?
Sorry, Washington, yeah. Is that where they shot? Washington?
Yeah.
I don't know. See, it just goes to show you. Don't know.
Because it's always gray there and there's no sun, blah, blah. Who cares?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The fact that I know that makes me very sad.
It makes me sad, too, but I wasn't going to admit it.
I've never even read those books. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that there's a lot more to say about Will and Higgins, except for the fact that it was just such a fun way of seeing Higgins and his life. And one of my favorite things that Will says to him is everything okay at home?
Well, because he's taking him into the red light district.
I know.
It's even a mystery to Will why they're going to the red light district. Even when he says to the team, he's like, Will's going to become a man tonight. Will's like, what? He shoots him this look. It's like, okay. But yeah, it's a great little side story with Higgins. They're kind of off on their own little adventure. And but again, seeing the two of them kind of have this effect on one another. Mm-hmm. I don't really think out of all of these stories, there's anybody who doesn't have an effect on somebody else.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, I mean, Ted's story is a little different. And we'll get into that when we get to Ted's story, but there's everybody kind of has an effect on somebody else while being affected by someone else.
Yeah, Ted was deeply affected by the museum docent.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Deeply affected.
That's a good point. Well, do you want to just jump into Ted then while we're talking about it, or do you want to save him for last?
I kind of want to save him because I got a lot to say about it.
Okay, we can. That's fine.
Do we want to still be an offshoot of the team and go to Roy and Jamie?
Oh, there's so much good stuff. Yeah, let's just talk about it because, okay.
Because after that, it's just Rebecca and Ted.
Okay, let's talk about Jamie and Roy then. This, as much as I love Trent and Colin, this is my favorite part of this episode.
Well, yeah, duh. It's everybody's favorite part of the episode.
I laugh so much during their story. It's so funny, but at the same time, it is incredibly sweet.
Yes.
It is incredibly revealing about one of them.
And it's
actually about both. Actually,
yeah.
It's both of them reveal a bunch.
And it's very wholesome.
It's incredibly wholesome. We've talked a bit over the past couple episodes about how like this budding friendship relationship has been starting and developing. This episode changes it completely, and it becomes what we now get for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
They connect so much. They apologize to each other for being dicks to one another.
I know. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. And Jamie teaches Roy how to ride a bicycle.
It's so, I love it. So,
watching Roy just like slowly fall to the side over and over.
There's not even, he doesn't even, now it's very clearly a stunt man that's doing the stunt, but still, there's not even an attempt to brace himself. It's just a fall.
It's just sitting there, and all of a sudden the whole thing just goes.
There's so much from the start of from the reveal that Roy can't ride a bike to everything that leads to Jamie teaching him.
Yeah.
There is so much classic comedy like bits throughout this. One of my favorite ones that makes me laugh every time is when Roy reveals that he can't ride a bike, and then Jamie and the guy look at each other and at the same exact beat just start hysterically laughing. Well, after like this break of silence.
Right. And then the guy goes, no refunds, and he runs away.
And this guy is clearly stealing bikes.
Well, my favorite was when who was it? I forget. One of them, like when they get back to the bus and they drop their bike and they keep running, he shows up and sweeps and grabs it and runs away.
He just takes it and walks off. And like even like sticking with the comedy bits, like throughout the whole montage of them, like of Jamie teaching him. Another one of my favorites is when Jamie's trying to get him to turn left, and Roy's like, I can't turn the other way. I can't turn the other way.
He can't. It is just going in the same circle over again.
He's trying to get him to put his feet on it's like teaching a toddler.
Put your feet on the pedals, and he just can't figure it out. I'm sorry. It's so funny.
It is the whole montage of him teaching him how, plus with Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, the song in the background, like it is easily the funniest moment of the entire episode. And it's just the fact that it's coming from these two characters. And like, we're seeing that. I don't want to say Jamie's outgrowing Roy's coaching, because he's clearly not. He's taking a lot from it, but he's definitely physically outgrowing Roy's coaching.
Yes.
Because when they're running, Roy is struggling to keep up with
and
Jamie.
He's just not even tired. He's doing handsprings and he's, hopping around, and he's just like, wee, here we go. But I think that it's now more of a mentor and protege relationship that started off where they both could meet, where so their relationship meets where they have the most in common, and that is the physicality of the sport. You want to learn how to play? Fine, let's condition. And through that conditioning, they build trust with one another to the point that we get to Amsterdam, where now the physical part of their relationship is over, right? And the training, the 4 a.m., like that's been established and built, and Jamie has more than excelled at that part. But this is the part of the training that I think is most important for Jamie, and that's the mental part. And we're going to see that in the weeks to come, that he's really going to need Roy and Roy's teachings and Roy's foundation and Ted's influence and Keely's influence for him to actually be better than Zava, right? And I'm talking about his personality, his what do you call it? When his public image, his public image. Everything left, all the words left my brain for a moment. Like his public image, like him becoming a more authentic version of himself and not being a caricature of himself. And I think that that's where he went wrong. He thought branding himself meant being somebody that he's not. And Roy is the one that was able to show him that you can be whoever the hell you want to be. Roy has never compromised who he is, ever. Mm-hmm. And he's still one of the greatest players ever to play the game. Roy is teaching Jamie that he can do that exact same thing. And Roy sees that Jamie is not the icon, fanny pack wearing, ecstasy taking in a forest guy. He's not. He's a wholesome kid that just wants stability and somebody who loves him.
Well, I mean, and even continuing on with that too, again, like we obviously we talk about the physicality and the comedy of the whole scene, but there is the really started laughing just thinking about it again.
I know. Well, I was laughing a minute ago. So.
Yeah. But there's also that wholesome note that you had talked about before between the two of them, where they both actually do make a genuine reveal to one another about their past. Like Roy does say that he doesn't know how to ride a bike, but he does open up to Jamie and reveal why he doesn't know how to ride a bike. And I have both of these quotes that they both reveal to one another. Because Jamie said, because Roy makes the whole thing that he doesn't believe windmills exist.
That is hilarious, by the way.
He thinks it's all Disneyfied and it's, windmills don't exist. And Jamie, who has been a tour guide this entire time, pointing out all these different things like the skinny bridge and everything, which
shows how smart he is. Okay, I've been saying this since season 1. He's not stupid. Yeah. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
And I love the fact too that in that conversation, and this is in my quotes, but I'll say it anyway. Roy reveals he's never been to Amsterdam before. And he's like, what? Never? He's like, no, not one stag party. No, not one international match. No, not one emergency flight diverted here because some EasyJet passenger was being a prick. That never happens. It does happen if you're being enough of a prick, which I was.
And none of that is true. That's my favorite part. None of that is true. Later, he says he's been to Amsterdam twice. Once with dad,
that's right.
Once with mom.
That's right. Yeah. So Roy, he says, when I went to Sutherland, my granddad told me he'd teach me how to ride when I came back for Christmas, and then he fucking died. And I haven't been on a bike since. And now I'm saying that out loud. I realize that I realized that never learning was actually a great disrespect to his memory, and now I feel ashamed. So can we stop talking about it and go back to me just taking out my negative emotions on you, even if you deserve it or not? And I love that in that moment, Jamie kind of sees that. He realizes in that moment, I was being a little bit of a prick in making fun of him for not knowing how to ride a bike. But now that I know why he doesn't know how to ride a bike, he hands him a bike and says, let's do this for Granddad. That's such a great moment from Jamie. He says, he hands him a bike. He says, go on, Roy, for Granddad.
Yeah.
And Roy's he's like, fuck. He knows he's got to do it.
Well, he can't get out of it because he's made Jamie do some pretty awful things so far.
Yeah. But, going back to what we were saying too about Jamie's story, he says, when I was 14, my dad was trying to get back with my mom, and he was acting like some kind of fucking super dad or some shit. And he brought me out here for some father-son bonding time.
Ugh.
Anyway, he said it was to watch a football match. After the game, he took me to the red light district for my real present. He took me to lose my virginity to those ladies behind the windows. And Roy says,
so mad.
must have been traumatizing. And he's like, no, she loved it. Oh, for me? Sorry, me? Yeah, you mean.
He said he didn't remember.
Who?
Jamie. He says he barely remembers it.
When does he say that?
Later, he does say that. He says he doesn't really remember. Yeah, because he was so young. That was the point of that line.
And then he continues on, and I don't have that part, but he continues on by saying, like, the second time he went, his mother took him, and they did all the educational stuff. They went to the museums.
Things that you do.
Yes. They went to like the museums and saw all the sights. And he said in many ways, his father was still there with them. Probably meaning like he remembered everything from the first time.
Right.
He was there.
Well, his father taints everything. His father taints his entire life. Yes. And I think that this third trip to Amsterdam where he's having this experience this experience with Roy, I think that a part of that trauma from his dad has healed by the end of this episode.
Well, look at what he's doing there. Like he
uses powers for good.
He's not showing Roy the red light district or any of that stuff. He's taking him to all the sites that he saw with his mother.
Yeah, he is. Oh gosh, I love Jamie. I love Jamie so much. And I did make a note for this, and I think I'm going to save it for spoilers. Never mind.
Okay. What's funny too is Jason, our friend who created Podcastica that this podcast is part of. He's getting ready to do a bracketed thing for like favorite characters from any shows that Podcastica covers, and he has a bunch of characters from Lost on there, and he had from Ted Lasso, he had Ted, Keely, Rebecca, and Roy. And I was like, you are missing. I was like, and I did. I messaged him and he fixed it. I was like, you are missing two glaring omissions to that list in Coach Beard and Jamie Tart.
Yeah. I mean, they probably won't make it very far, but
Well, because he was also missing Ben Linus from Lost. And I was like, and I did when I commented to it. And I was like, I also petitioned for Ben Linus, but you don't have to add him to the list because I might be in the minority. And he's like, oh no, he's like, I'm pretty sure Ben's a fan favorite. He's getting added to the list too.
But Jamie Tart.
That's what I mean. Like you have Keely and Rebecca, and Roy, but you don't have Jamie.
Jamie's
like
just fantastic. I love
Jamie and Beard are glaring.
Did Saeed make the list?
No, Saeed's not on the list. Sawyer is.
Okay, that's good. Sawyer.
No, I think he had Jack, Sawyer,
Kate,
Locke. No, Kate's not on the list.
There's no women then? There's no women.
No, he didn't have any women from Lost on there.
Nope. Then it's flawed.
Better message him.
Well, I'm not on Facebook. I don't know.
It was Hurley, Jack, Hurley, Sawyer, Locke, and then he added Ben.
All men. How patriarchy of you.
But yeah, anyway, it's like I love this side. I love this story between these two characters so much.
Yeah, I do
because
too.
It
solidifies their friendship.
And that's what I said. Like, this is the moment that kind of changes it going forward. Like, you're right. This solidifies what started as a butting of heads, like clash of two,
huge personalities.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. To 2.5 seasons later, this amazing friendship between two people who have this massive respect for each other.
Well, it goes all the way back to the busker night. Shoot. They had the fundraiser that Rebecca put on, that Rupert always puts
in season 1, yeah.
Yeah. It goes all the way back to that, when they were forced to work things out. Because Ted's like, no, you're going to work it out. You guys.
And Jamie didn't wear a shirt.
and he spilled soup on his chest. It all happened, right?
Yeah.
But that was kind of the beat. That's where we've come from, though, right?
Yeah.
Jamie did apologize to Roy in that episode.
Well, and another thing we didn't even really talk about in this whole story with that too is one of the other things that Roy opens up to Jamie about is Keely.
Yeah.
Because Roy kind of has this realization. He's kind of realizing Keely is a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Roy doesn't know how to handle this. And
Yeah.
Rebecca doesn't help, but in the best way.
She is wonderful. I love it that she still loves Roy, but she's still a champion for Keely.
Yeah. Like when Roy's like, I wonder where she's going. She's like, somewhere that she's appreciated, or somewhere where someone appreciates her or something.
Hang on. I got it.
Something like that.
Hang on.
And that shakes Roy. That really does shake him a little bit.
Well, of course it does. Where's she going? Somewhere that believes they deserve her.
Yeah. That's
So,
like a ooh.
But it wasn't
malicious.
It wasn't a knock on Roy. It was, Roy, get your act together because you're missing this.
Well, because look at when you see the look that Rebecca gives him when she says that.
Right.
It's not like you're a dick. It's like you said, it's get your shit together.
Yeah.
You can salvage.
You can still save this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the fact that of all people for Roy to open up to about Keely and what's going on, it's Jamie.
I know. And it results in some really great things coming up.
Yes. Oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah. Like really great things are coming up. I'm very excited.
Yeah, there's some really fun stuff happening with that dynamic, with that whole dynamic.
Yeah. And I love it that it's never a triangle.
No,
it really never is a triangle ever.
No,
they play it so well.
Yeah, it's done really, really well.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
It's done.
Yeah. So I think that's all I have for Jamie and Roy.
Well, you and I could talk about Jamie and Roy on our own podcast. It could just be called the Jamie and Roy Love Podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So we've got 2 stories left. We've got Rebecca and we've got Ted.
You tell me where you want to go. I can do either.
Ted's story to me is formatted a little different than everybody else's. So
let's do Rebecca.
Because like I said, everybody kind of finds something in somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Ted's story is a little different.
Yeah.
So let's go with Rebecca and the stranger.
Stranger Dutchman.
There's some spoiler stuff in this that we'll save for spoiler territory.
So much spoiler stuff.
But this is another one of those moments where Rebecca receives something in the fact of like she disconnects from her life for a short period of time. Quite
literally.
Yeah, she loses her phone at the bottom of the canal.
And Dutchman throws his phone in the canal.
Yes, he does. And it's... So I said earlier how much...
I just want to say real quick before we go and like have a Rebecca and Dutchman love fest that Dutchman being a father, throwing his phone in the canal, probably not the greatest move ever, but we'll just let that slowly melt away into the side and forge on.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, like I love the fact that this starts with Rebecca just being she's talking, she's talking to Sassy on the phone. She's walking a bike lane that she's not supposed to be walking, and it ends up with her falling over into the water.
Upside down in her green coat.
And it leads to this whole interaction with the Dutchman. And I want to say too, earlier on, I felt like I said how much love I've had for Troy in this episode. I think Trent? I fell in love with Trent. Did I say Troy?
Yeah.
Trent.
I don't know who you
I don't know
there.
where that came from. Don't know where that came from. I think I also fell in love with the Dutchman.
Oh, the Dutchman. I think anybody that didn't, their heart is made of stone.
He handles this situation so well.
I got to tell you, I would love a night like that.
He is charming.
Yep.
In a non-threatening way. The fact that when Rebecca wants a drink, instead of pouring it for her, he says, help yourself, meaning he allows her the independence. And also coming from a perspective, kind of looking at this from a woman's perspective, that's huge because now she doesn't have to worry about being roofied, like, or anything like that. Like,
His tea is not drugged. It's not drugged, I promise.
I love that as well.
Oh, as a woman, that was my first thought. When it said drink this, I was like, don't drink that.
Yeah.
And then when they opened it, it's not drugged. I was like, oh, that's sweet.
The fact that
is a fear of a woman.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like allowing her to pour her own drink. Mm-hmm. It's not being chauvinistic. Like it's letting her, like that's giving her a sense of safety.
That's also telling her that she's welcome there.
Yes. To help to help yourself.
Yes.
Well, and also at the same time too, I love the fact of like how charming and gentlemanly this man is. It's the fact that this is a strange woman. She is in to her, this is a strange man. She's in his houseboat where she's never been before. So she's in an unfamiliar situation. So what does he do? He leaves.
Yeah.
Classy. He lets her be there alone.
He lets her shower alone.
He lets her shower alone with no fear. Well, she doesn't realize that until after she gets out of the shower. But the fact that like he left while she was showering, made her tea that apparently she loved. Because the first word she says after she drinks it are "fuck me," which to an English woman, this is a man who knows how to make tea. So
yes,
already points for him.
Points Dutchman.
So he leaves and lets her be there, which not only allows Rebecca to trust him, but in return shows a huge amount of trust for her. Her to leave a stranger in your home. You have to trust that person as well.
And I'm pretty sure that he probably just, I don't know. It's like there was an innate feeling with both of them, like right off the bat. It was the chemistry between the two of them was so freaking intense. Like there were times where I felt like I was intruding on their night as a viewer.
You were voyeur to their date. Yeah.
I mean, just like the intimacy that was created by just this small space with the small table and the meal and the wine and the cute little cups. And I mean, just, it was so small and it was cozy. It was, what did he say? Gisela, right?
Oh, I have that. Gazella. Yeah. Gazelling. It's Gezellig.
But I think he says Giseli, like it's ch.
Well, it's the Dutch pronunciation.
Yeah, right.
As well. Which, by the way, so I'll read this real quick.
Please do.
This is from the Wikipedia page. It says, an English language could be used in places or with a party of people, one or more, that are easy to relax into and heartening. The adjective can be used in a wide variety of situations. 1, a room, restaurant, or cafe can be cozy or inviting. 2, a person can be inviting or pleasant or funny, jovial or sociable. 3, a party can be, meaning relaxed atmosphere with nice people and cozy surroundings. And then the 4th one is a visit to one's grandparents could also be that, meaning like togetherness. Mm-hmm. So this date hits every one of those marks.
Yeah.
Every one of those marks.
Yeah. I completely agree. It was also, just, go ahead.
Can also be used as an exclamation, which can either carry the meanings described above or be used sarcastically or ironically or to express enthusiasm for an upcoming event, such as one of those above. So when he says it, about making dinner, like, again, this hits every mark. Mm-hmm. Sorry, yeah. Go ahead. I interrupted you.
No. I completely agree with you. I mean, when you strip people down past the barriers that they put up for themselves. With Rebecca, it's her couture clothing, her phone, her very standoffish way that she presents herself. I mean, she fell in that canal and she lost all of her armor.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that,
That's a great way to put it.
She allowed this man to kind of creep into her. And I don't think that would have happened had she not fallen into the canal.
No, she would have, like, had this guy just like whistled at her and said something to her the way he was initially trying to.
It was trashy. Yeah. And she saw it as trash. She's like, excuse me? What are you doing? Whistling at me?
Yeah. But I mean, he was only trying to help her. Like, he knew where she was standing.
I know.
But again, like the way he says it, like, I was trying to get the attention of this beautiful woman. It does come across a little trashy. It comes across a little construction.
I must speak to this beautiful woman.
It comes across the little construction worker whistling at a passerby.
Which, you know, as a woman, that happens extremely regularly.
Yeah.
And probably happens all the time to Rebecca living in London. You know?
Yeah. But
in
again,
a big
like,
city. I'm not saying London is like construction worker catcalling area. I'm just saying London is a huge city.
I mean, you go to New York City and it's just, it's constant. I mean, there are videos online of people who keep cameras with them to keep track of how often it happens to them.
It's all
and
the
it's
time.
And it's sickening. It's actually sickening to watch. And I'm saying that as a man. But like, you're right. Like, and I love the way you put, like, she lost her armor when she fell in the water. Like, that is such a great way to put that. But in addition to, she needed a disconnect from her everyday life, which is very prim, proper, professional, you know, social, you know,
she's
standing.
In charge of a lot.
Yes. She needed this disconnect. I can't tell you how great it was to see Rebecca in a sundress. We've never seen that. Just
flitting around too in the sundress, you know, having fun with the fabric, and she's barefoot.
She looked great. She looked comfortable. Like, this is, but also at the same time, she needed a distraction because she's got everything in her mind with this psychic and the matchbook. And that matchbook, as much as they haven't really shown on it, is tied to Sam. She still has Sam on her mind.
Mm-hmm.
She needed something to distract her from that, to make her realize there are other things. There are things other than Sam. She can be, Sam is not her go. Now, I'm not saying she's had it in her mind that she needs to be with Sam. But, you know, the fact that matchbook came from Sam's restaurant, there's a connection there.
Mm-hmm. Well, she was trying to force her prophecy back to Sam.
Yes. Yeah. She needed something to break that connection, and she got it.
Yeah, she did.
She got it with the Dutchman.
She did.
You know, there's just so much great that happens between their conversation, and everything. And again, like, I can't express enough how charming this man is. He is incredibly polite, pleasant. He's very open. Like, he talks about his past relationship, incredibly smart. Like, he talks about his past relationship. It's I'll save it for quotes, because we're throwing too many quotes in there too.
I know. I don't care though, because it's great.
He has two quotes in this whole story that are two of my favorite quotes.
I know what they are too. I'm excited.
Should I just do them now?
Yeah.
All right, I'll just say them now. So the first one is when he breaks out the Tupperware, the storage container. She's going through it.
Are they trophies?
And, well, he's like, no, it's my former partner. She was tall like you. And Rebecca's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did she pass away? He goes, unfortunately, no. Like, there's that little space that kind of just, it's that comedic timing.
Yeah.
Of everything.
And I love that dry sense of humor too.
So I do too. And but my favorite line of the entire interaction between the two of them is at the very end, when she says, I won't forget you. And he says, yeah, you might. People get Alzheimer's. that is such a great line.
I wonder if that was improvised because Rebecca genuinely laughs there. And I don't know if it's Hannah Waddingham or if it's Rebecca.
And the best part is she doesn't laugh and then leave. She's laughing as she's already out of the room. You can hear her still laughing as she's going up the steps.
Yeah.
Like there's a difference between laughing in the moment and laughing as you're still thinking about it as you're walking away. Like,
right.
That is such a great line. That's such a great joke. I love it.
There's another line though. I can't believe you didn't say it because it was my favorite of their entire interaction, and I want to get it right. So I'm vamping right now to get to it. Come on! Oh, it's not even here.
What is it? Because I might be able to. I have the transcript pulled up, so I might be able to find it in the transcript.
It's where she refuses to drink. And he's like, fine. He's like, I'm going to give you a foot massage. And then I'm going to give you, come on, where is it? This is making me very upset. It's not here. It's where he goes, I'm going to cook you some dinner. You're going to drink, drink a few drinks. And then I'm going to give you a foot massage. And he goes, my form is sound. And she goes, oh, no, that's not going to happen. Absolutely not. And he goes, okay, fine. You can just sit there with your tired feet, sober. Said your tired feet, sober and hungry, or sober and wet doesn't affect me at all. Something like that. It's hilarious. Because he is just pointing out, okay, you're being stupid.
Yeah. Like he's calling her out on the way she's being. And
but at the same time, everything he's doing is a potential red flag for a woman out on her own. Yeah. Here, have a shower, have some tea, have some alcohol, stay for dinner. Let me give you a foot rub. Oh, you want to wear some clothes that I have in a Tupperware in my closet? Like everything that happens is just like, ooh, I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do that either. But it's when you let go and you take a chance on somebody, it could be amazing.
Yeah. There's just, again, there's so much that happens in this. And it's something that Rebecca genuinely needed. Mm-hmm. To like, because again, like we fast forward to the end of this episode where they're all on the bus and they're singing. And it's Rebecca that starts this whole sing-along. And it's the song she thought was incredibly depressing in the beginning of the episode, bookending the episode, as I said. And it even goes into a little further in that when you see, Three Little Birds by Bob Marley, and this can go for any song almost any song in general, how you take a song and how, like, what you take away from a song is all a matter of perspective. Mm-hmm. So yes, she's hearing a song in the beginning of this that's depressing to her because look at everything that's connected to it. They just lost. They've been on a losing streak. This whole stadium is singing this song. It's being sung by the fans of the team that just beat them. Yeah, it's going to be a depressing song in that moment. But then in the end, she realized she's washed, literally falling into the canal has washed away so many things from her life that have been holding her back. Mm-hmm. And now
she's better for it.
Everything's going to be all right.
Yeah. She's so funny with her feet up, just singing. I'd be like, did she have the tea?
What I love about that moment at the end too is the fact that Rebecca and Beard as Piggy Stardust, which is just fucking amazing. Like they start singing this song together and Ted isn't like confused. Like he himself is kind of just like, all right, like this is happening. He's got a big smile on his face and it just flows into happening. And it's
a totally different bus.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a totally different. I don't think there's one person on that bus. Ted, Beard, Rebecca, Will, Higgins, Jamie, Roy, the team. There's not one person, Colin, there's not one person on that bus who isn't different than who they were when they got off.
In a positive way.
Absolutely a positive way.
Right. Probably even the bus driver had a good night.
We don't know. We don't even know what Beard's night was.
We know enough from Beard After Hours and Beard's outfit getting out of the van
To not question it.
And maybe not pull at that thread.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just not even. We're not even. And I think, I think that's one of the great things that Beard After Hours kind of does.
Yeah.
Is that when we see him get out of that van and he's dressed as Piggy Stardust and he's speaking Dutch, we just don't, as viewers, we don't question it.
Right.
We're just like, yeah, Beard had a good night.
Yep. Perfect.
And I love the fact that Will's like, you know how to speak Dutch? He's like, yeah, don't tell Jan.
Don't tell Jan.
But I think that kind of, unless you have anything else, I do still have a couple things, but I'm going to save it for spoilers.
Yeah.
But unless you have anything else, I think that kind of leads us into the final kind of story in this whole thing, and that's Ted.
And the title of the episode, really. I mean, it's called Sunflowers because of Ted.
Yeah. And it's, first off, I really want to go to Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been a place I've wanted to visit, even before watching this episode. But I love, and I'm going to say the proper pronunciation because I've looked into this. I love Vincent van Gogh. It's not a G. It's not Vincent van Gogh.
We're going to say Vincent van Gogh.
It's not Vincent van Gogh. It's not Vincent van Gogh. The proper Dutch pronunciation, because he was Dutch, is Vincent van Gogh. Just so people are aware. But we'll say Vincent van Gogh just for the sake of argument. I love the fact that Van Gogh is brought into this. I want to go to that museum. Like, very badly, I want to go to
I do too.
I don't even know what the name of the museum is, but I know I want to go.
It's the Van Gogh Museum.
Well, no, I think he's got a section in a museum. I don't know if is it the Van Gogh Museum?
It's the Van Gogh Museum. I have it pulled up right now.
Okay. Maybe that's changed then. I always thought there are other artists in there.
Van Gogh Museum, Amsterdam.
So maybe there are other artists that are spotlighted in there.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's different artists that do Van Gogh. It looks like.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't realize that the museum was named after him, so that's good. So I said that kind of like Ted's story is a little different. Obviously Rebecca found something she needed in the Dutchman, similar to, oh shit, hold on. Before we go into Ted, we forgot one major point of the Rebecca Dutchman story.
What?
And that is the very end when Rebecca asks him, did we?
Oh.
And he says no. And then when she leaves, we did. Those are two completely different we dids.
Oh, yeah.
She means, obviously, sex. He means had a moment.
Fall in love.
Fall in love.
I think it was fall in love.
Yeah. His, oh, yes, we did is not, yes, we had sex. It was, we had a night. Like, this was something.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go back to that because that's my final
No, that's
note.
okay.
So we kind of had to talk about that. Anyway, going back to Ted. Ted is somebody who finds a lot of inspiration in this episode in thinking up something to do with the team to help the team out of the slump that was something that was already invented. But he did come to the realization, but he came to the realization on his own. Mm-hmm. Ted needed, unlike Higgins and Will, who found, something in each other, Trent and Colin, who found something in each other, Rebecca the Dutchman, Roy and Jamie, Ted needed something on his own. Ted needed to find something independently. Ted needed to separate from other people because I think Ted was relying too much on other people. Because Beard even says it himself in the beginning of the episode, like, you kind of need something yourself. And Ted gets it. Now, his inspiration, he does find inspiration in his story, but it doesn't come from people. His inspiration comes from home. but in the loosest of ways. He finds this American bar,
Yankee Doodle something.
Yankee Doodle Burger Bar,
Thank you.
which I would have turned out and walked out the door the moment that server didn't know the Windy City, Chicago was the Windy City. Like, you have a themed restaurant and they didn't bother to tell you that the Windy City was Chicago.
Yeah, well,
But I guess maybe they don't get many Americans that go in there. Because Americans are not going to Amsterdam to go to American themed restaurants. At least not in my opinion.
I don't know the amount of people that go to Times Square when they go to New York City. You just can't figure people out.
And then go to Applebee's.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Like, no, I'm not going to Applebee's. I'm not going to Dave and Buster's.
I want to go somewhere specific to the region where I am.
Yeah, I want to go to some place that's only in New York.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know?
Like any of the amazing world-class, world-famous restaurants by world-class, world-famous chefs.
Or New York pizza places.
Yeah.
Which are a dime a dozen down there.
Or a hot dog cart.
Or a hot dog cart. Yeah, you're right. But the point is made.
The point is being made, yeah.
But I think Ted needed this. He's been away for so long that he kind of needed this inspiration. And the fact that there's so many moments of inspiration. He is in a American themed restaurant. He's sitting in a section that is relatable to him with Chicago. He is watching a basketball game that he and his father used to watch or have watched together. The sauce that the server brings him is a sauce from Kansas City, where he lives. It's the same sauce he opened for Rebecca when he received the care package.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's barbecue sauce.
It's barbecue sauce. So there are so many elements of inspiration that come to Ted from home in this. He didn't need it from somebody. He needed it from something. That's why I said Ted's stories formatted a little bit differently. Because he gets his inspiration. And I love the fact that you're made to think this whole time it's because he's tripping. And it turns out he's not.
Nah, I don't believe it. I think he microdosed. Dave and I had a talk about this last night. I think that for people like Beard and the bus driver, that wasn't going to hit them at all and be considered a dead batch. I think for Ted, homegrown, Midwestern, never done a drug Ted, that I think that it was a small enough effect that he microdosed. Because
he got a little bit from it.
Because he was able to shut off the parts of his brain that are very loud, which is Michelle and Henry and his anxiety and his failure as a coach and this and that. And he was able to free his mind enough to think openly about what he wanted to think about.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
No, I can absolutely see that. It's the same way as like anybody who's never drank before takes a lot less for them to get drunk or buzzed. Yeah. Because they're not used to that amount of alcohol in their system.
If I drink a beer and my 13-year-old kid drinks a beer, she's going to be drunk. I'm going to be fine. I'm also going to be in jail, but I
wasn't expecting that, but okay.
As far as his microdosing in at Yankee Doodle, the triangle video, did you know that was a spoof or a play off of a Donald Duck episode about the history of triangles?
Yes.
Called Math Magic, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also want to say this too, because I don't know if you know this or not, but there is a interesting connection in the man who does the voice of that.
It's Marv Albert? No.
Marv Albert was the voice on the commentary for the Bulls game.
Oh, okay.
No, it's the voiceover is called The True Spirit of Adventure. And it is a voiceover actor named Corey Burton, who also did the voiceover for the Donald Duck sketch that it's in related to, but who you personally might know because he is also the voice of Count Dooku in Clone Wars and Cad Bane in Bad Batch. So he is a voice in the Star Wars universe.
What's his
in
name?
the Star Wars animated series. Who? The
The
artist?
voice. Yeah.
Corey Burton. I just said it.
Okay, well, I missed it because I was looking for I was actually looking for the name.
Oh, okay. No,
I can't do two things at once.
No, he is he is a huge voiceover actor. He has done a ton of stuff for Disney. He's
Like
done a ton
Alan
of video
Tudyk.
game work. Oh God, he puts Alan Tudyk to shame for voiceover stuff. For the amount
Andy
of stuff.
Serkis.
He's been working in the industry for years.
Decades.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, he does the voice of Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett. Like he's done a ton of stuff for Star Wars, Marvel,
Very cool.
Disney. He's been in the industry for a long time.
Very cool.
Like I'm still scrolling on his IMDb and it's, oh my God, I'm into 1971. 1979 is when he started.
Wow.
He's been doing it as long as I've been alive.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
So as a Laker fan, the triangle offense is something that I know pretty well because of Phil Jackson and the way that he did implement it with the Chicago Bulls, which is why we stemmed from Michael Jordan into the triangle offense and what the triangle really was. I loved the breakdown of what the triangle offense really was, where you have the triangle, but then that triangle shifts into something else. And then you just have all moving triangles throughout the court so that everybody's playing and everybody's moving and there's no like set place for everybody to go. Phil Jackson took his triangle offense to the Lakers and he won 5 championships that way. Right. So he's won 11 championships using the triangle offense. Well, so we know it works.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even before that, even before he used it for the Lakers, as Beard says, like it's total football. Total football was developed in the 70s. And
that's what I'm getting to. Yeah. So,
okay, go ahead.
So seeing Ted go through, he needed to see the game through the lens that he knew, which is American sports. Right. So he sees the triangle offense at this American bar and he has that triangle video that he's either remembering or watching. Who knows? And then he sees Chance the Rapper with the 3 and he sees little triangles everywhere. And what else does he see? He sees Chance the Rapper. Oh, images, Chicago images, Chance the Rapper, deep dish pizza, Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls.
Well, he's sitting in the Chicago section.
Right. So, but all of that is triggering his own memory. And I think that this has been the missing link for Ted. Ted can't draw on what he knows. And he's been swimming in the deep end for 3 seasons now. Mm-hmm. And in this episode, what's so wonderful about what happened is that link was created. His link from home to job finally came together, finally found its place. And Ted can now coach the sport and not the team, if that makes sense. No, he's got a plan.
That makes complete sense because that was actually one of the things I wanted to mention too, is that, throughout the course of these 2.5 seasons that we've seen so far, we've seen how great Ted can be as a coach when it comes to the relationship of the players.
Right.
How he relates to the players. Like we've always known Ted as a great coach because of that. But now this is the first real time we're getting to see Ted as a coach, like when it comes to the game.
Yes.
And we see how good we're about to see because of this, how great he is as a coach in that aspect as well.
But I think it needed to happen in this order because he needed the trust of his team. He needed the team to trust him. He needed the front office to trust him. And he needed Richmond to trust him.
Mm-hmm.
They have now known him for 2.5 seasons, or however long it's been, however long he's been there, which I think is now a couple of years. They know Ted well enough to know that he's a good person. He's a good person that has made very positive strides in character development of the team, character development of the town, character development of the front office. Now he's got to coach the game and prove that he's worth his job, because just last week, they're talking about firing him.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, even like on that note, of him having to prove himself now that he can do the game, it's the fact that, you're right. It had he not earned the trust of this team and the back offices and everything, and Rebecca and Higgins, had he taken total football or triangle offense, whatever you want to call it, and he said to the team in season 1, this is what we're going to do, they would have looked at him like he was crazy.
Yeah.
But now he has the trust of the team. He has the trust of the fans. He has the trust of Rebecca and everybody, that he can literally go into that locker room tomorrow and be like, we're doing total football. And everybody there's like, okay.
He can go on the field and say, we're going to do Red Rover on the field and see if that works. And they'd be like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of trust he has with the team. I will say that he doesn't have the trust of the town just yet, but he has a plan for that, and that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have the trust of the town in that they know who he is, and he's not a stranger anymore, but they still don't trust him with their beloved team.
Well, and I think that speaks of any fandom. That takes a long time to get over.
Yes.
For any team. That's not just Richmond. That just plays in the sports in general.
I don't think the Lakers will ever be the same after Phil Jackson leaving. I don't. I think Phil Jackson was very special, and he was anybody that doesn't know, he was the coach of the Lakers.
Well, look at the bar that he set.
Right. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. It was Phil Jackson with Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
It was a dynasty for a reason. But the Lakers have not found their footing since the end of that time, since Phil Jackson left the team. And I think that that's probably what's been going on, because they've had this longtime coach in short shorts, and then America Man comes in and turns the whole town, team, and front office on their head. But now that they know him, now that they're getting into a groove, now Ted can be Ted.
Well, you look at, and now because we haven't seen them in a while, their names are going to be completely blanking out of my head. But the 3 fans that hang out at the pub.
Jeremy, Paul, Baz, and Paul.
And Paul, yeah. Look at how they are. I mean, they know Ted personally,
mm-hmm.
and still criticize when that team does, and still has been criticized in the season because
mm-hmm.
of how bad it's been.
Mm-hmm. And they love him.
Yeah, like they're friends with Ted.
Yeah, they love him.
That's just fandom.
But they're also going to be very important in this next phase of the show.
Yes, they are.
And so that's really cool. Like, we're on the precipice of something really great that's about to happen. And this episode is just such a wonderful launching platform for that. I just want to talk about sunflowers, though, for a minute, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So I did not a deep dive, but a little bit of a dive in sunflowers, just because they titled the episode Sunflowers, right? So, I mean, they could have titled it Amsterdam. They could have titled it Windmills. They could have titled it Houseboat. They could have titled it Tulip, anything. They titled it Sunflowers. Why? Right? Well, sunflowers are really important to... Aren't sunflowers kind of important to Holland, or is that just tulips?
That's tulips.
Okay. So we learned that the state flower of Kansas is a sunflower, which I think is very wonderful and poignant. Hang on, let me go back to my quotes, because what the docent said was very, very good. Blah, blah, blah. Here it is. Okay, good. I have that up. Now we're good. All right, so Van Gogh's Sunflowers painting. It's painted in 3 colors and nothing else. Van Gogh wanted to demonstrate that it's possible to create an image with numerous variations of one single color without loss of eloquence. To me, that is foreshadowing for a simplified version of playing the game in total football. The 3 colors goes with the triangle that he's trying to develop. And I think that that's a really nice link between the two. The museum docent says one doesn't expect to get from life what one has already learned it cannot give. Rather, one begins to see that life is a kind of sowing time, and the harvest is not yet here. He was just a humble preacher's son. And yes, he had his demons, but they never stopped him from searching for beauty. Because when you find beauty, you find inspiration. If that is, you stay as determined as Vincent. Never stop, no matter how many failures. When you know you're doing what you're meant to do, you have to try. Ted, where I'm from, Kansas, my home, this is our state flower. And then the rest of it is mercy buckets. Who cares?
That's just Ted being Ted.
But the museum docent really hits on who Ted is, right? Ted doesn't quit. He fails, but he doesn't quit. He is determined to succeed. He comes from humble beginnings. He has his demons, and his demons we have seen on display for 2.5 seasons now. He always looks for beauty. He always looks for that silver lining, for that rainbow in the cloud. That is who Ted is. So I think that the description of this sunflower painting, which brings him right back to home, to Kansas, coupled with the American bar, the American sports, the barbecue sauce, even the American music that's played at the stadium. I mean, granted, it's, Bob Marley from Jamaica, but we have Americanized Bob Marley.
Yeah.
We have claimed him as our own, unrightfully so, by the way, but we have claimed Bob Marley as our own. Not if you ask
Jamaica, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
But it's just such a poignant and important moment for the character of Ted Lasso this episode. And I love the way that we bring the beauty from art and the beauty from sports into what Ted is going to do next.
I'm going to take it even further.
Please do.
In what you just said. In taking what you just said about how Sunflowers was only done with 3 colors and is simplified art, but finding the beauty in simplified art, I'm going to take it even a step further in that by that museum director giving him that journal, he in essence gave Ted a canvas to create his own sunflowers.
Yes, 100%. And that's so good. And that is the effect that happened, right? We have everybody, because you were talking, and I said, and you said that Ted didn't have that. But in this museum docent, he does have that.
You're right.
Ted got his influence and he got he got what he needed. Right. Yeah. And I love the fact that he used that notebook. At first, I thought it was like a history book on Van Gogh. And then it wasn't until the very end of the episode where Beard's flipping through it that I actually saw it was a blank notebook. I thought he was writing in margins. You know what I mean? Like he had paper, so he needed to get it out.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just, so, I mean, I'm not going to make it now, but I will tell you my recommendation at the end of this episode is in relation to what we just talked about with with Van Gogh and sunflowers and everything. But I think that covers pretty much everything I have for the main stories. Anything else on your end before we dive into spoiler stuff?
No.
Okay.
Sunflowers to Van Gogh communicated gratitude.
Okay.
I did want to say that because I thought that was good.
God, that plays into my recommendation so well. Okay. We'll get into that when we get to the end of the episode.
I think that the painting is a full circle moment for Ted. Kansas's state flower being the sunflower. Ted wants to feel whole again. I think that's why we see the best version of Ted in this episode is because he goes back to his American roots as silly and stereotypical as they were. I think he needed stereotypical America. I think he needed an in-your-face taste of home, and I think that bar did wonders for him. Where am I? And the sunflowers, seeing the sunflowers in the Van Gogh exhibit grounds him enough that he can make the breakthrough that he makes later.
It's so amazing how people find inspiration in different things. Like just seeing a painting, it's a pure expression on how art can be inspirational and why art is the way it is. I mean, Ted goes into a museum, he sees a picture of sunflowers and finds inspiration in that. Like, it's just the places where people find inspiration, it boggles my mind, but in the greatest of ways. So, all right, then with that being said, we're going to dive into some spoiler territory for the episode. So if you want to avoid it, just check the show notes to find out when we're going to come back, and we'll do whatever we have left of our favorite quotes and feedback and recommendations. So I have two things. One is pretty quick, and then the other one is not too entailed, but it's a little bit deeper. The quick one is there are so many clues in the houseboat indicating what this man does for a living.
Yeah, I know.
There are so many clues.
Everything is a plane. Everything is a plane.
There's so many clues that he's a pilot.
Yeah.
And that's appropriate because that's when we're going to see him next.
Yeah.
Is at the airport.
Oh, God, I love him. You know what sucked though, is that I remember every week hoping he was going to show back up. And it wasn't until the very last episode. And that, for some reason, that pissed me off because I really wanted him to I wanted more of how that story was going to end. Yeah.
and we don't, it's a very loose closure with that.
I mean, it is what it is, right? But I did remember feeling just like, is he going to show up now? Is he going to show up now? Or him watching the TV and seeing her on TV somehow and like trying to find her? I don't know. Like I just wanted to see something.
Yeah. So I have one more thing. And I'll mention this and then I'll turn it over to you. This goes back to Trent and Colin.
Okay.
And their conversation. I want to tell you, I had a ball out crying moment watching this episode.
Oh.
But it was happy tears. It was incredibly happy tears because Colin says in that conversation, all I want is for when we win a match to be able to kiss my fella the same way the guys get to kiss their girls. Colin gets that in the finale.
Yeah, he does.
I'm honestly getting choked up again thinking about it. Colin gets his wish.
He gets to live his truth.
Yep. When they win the game in the series finale, he sees Jan kissing somebody and he stands there and then his partner comes out and they kiss on the field. It's a great moment.
Yeah.
And it made me so emotional realizing he's going to get that.
Yeah.
That's all I have for spoilers.
I love it. Well, I only have a couple of things, and
okay.
It might even be just one. Well, I mean, obviously, we know that Rebecca's going to become a mother to that little girl in the unicorn bedroom.
Yes.
But I did write it down. I don't know if it's spoilery or not, but I feel like this episode highlights the fact that Jamie is officially too good for Keely. I think Jamie needs somebody who's going to match his wholesome yearning, his yearning for stability. And I don't think that Keely is that person for him.
I can see that. It's kind of weird to think that Keely outgrew Jamie at first.
But now I think Jamie has outgrown
Jamie's
Keely.
outgrown Keely. Yeah.
I think that he has just moved into this higher echelon of being. I don't know. I love Jamie Tart.
I mean, as we're going to find out, Jamie has not realized this yet because he's still going to try and get Keely back, which is what leads to the stuff between him and Roy, which you mentioned earlier.
The best.
The fact that they fight each other for Keely, and then Keely turns them both down in the finale is just. And then the fact that they're standing outside of Keely's apartment after she closes the door,
saying you're going to pick one of us,
and then they're standing outside her house, and they're like, "We're fucking idiots."
Yeah, that was bad.
Yep. Oh God, it's so good.
Yeah, I agree. And then, the only other real spoiler that I have is just the fact that if you don't know that Ted's going back to Kansas by the end of this season, by this episode, then you've got your head under the ground or head in the sand on purpose.
Well, he got all those tastes of home, and we know these are going to be things that are just going to contribute to that. Yeah. In addition to missing Henry and everything else, this is just going to contribute to that. And we do get a hint of something that is, in a way, going to happen, because Ted says to Beard at one point that, like, maybe I should just drink wine and argue with my mom. We're like, well, that's kind of going to happen. Not the drink wine part, but you are going to have it out with your mom.
Which is going to be great.
Yeah. Great for Ted.
Yes.
It's another
good for Ted.
And that's the thing. Like, everything that is happening with him, everything that he is experiencing, between everything with Dr. Sharon to having it out with his mom, and like all of them hashing all that and bringing all that out to the surface, that when Ted does go home, he's a better person.
Yes.
He's a much better person than he was when he left.
They're all better. They're all better versions of themselves than the very first episode. Like, if we were to watch the pilot and the finale together, it would be an interesting, like, I wonder what happens in between these, 2 episodes.
Oh, one of my favorite parts between the premiere and the finale is the offsides rule.
It's a little offsides.
when Ted doesn't know what the offsides rule is, and then during the game in the end, Beard and Roy are like upset because they think they just scored, and Ted's like, "Cool," like he was offsides, and then it turns out that Ted was right.
Yeah. Yep. He finally understands the game. He got better.
He outgrew Roy and Beard.
Yep.
When it comes to knowledge of the game, it's great.
Yep. I agree.
It's so good. Anything else for spoilers?
Nah, I got it. No.
Okay. So with that said, then we're going to welcome everybody back as we dive into some of our favorite quotes, or whatever we have left from our favorite quotes. Let me see. We talked about Danny writing tulip in Spanish.
I think someone wrote tulip. Danny, it was you. It was written in Spanish.
Danny,
Someone wrote it in Spanish.
Someone wrote it in Spanish. On the bus before they go, what do you think? Think only you can get these guys out of their pineapple percussions. Doldrums? Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. People get Alzheimer's.
Oh, can you please tell me that my friend is being a boring tourist? What's your name? Everybody calls me Van Damme. Okay, Van Damme. Would you prefer to pay to watch 2 tired people have sex, or rather go to a party where perhaps you could get some yourself? They're tired, exhausted.
That's all they do. I think the only one I have left that we haven't already done is when Beard gives Ted the drugs. And he's like, disgusting. How's it taste? Disgusting. So most people put it in peanut butter and jelly or yogurt. And which one are we doing? Neither. We're doing tea. Oh, come on, man. Are you kidding me? That's like hiding poop. That's like hiding poop inside a smoothie of barf. He still drinks it, though.
Yeah, he does. Well, almost all of it.
Yeah, he still drinks it. I think that's all I have for quotes.
Yeah.
that we haven't already done.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Roy Kent, don't you think Richmond's objectively poor performance is due to the fact that you're nothing without Zava? Who cares? It's a fucking friendly. A friendly is a pretend match. This is a pretend conversation. You're a pretend person with a pretend job. And I'm having a really hard time pretending to give a shit. Where Jan is just sitting there just laughing.
Yep. That's Roy being Roy. That's so great. I love it. All right, then. With that being said, let's move on to the feedback section of the podcast, in which we have a couple. We have 2 voicemails, and a Facebook post.
A Facebook post?
A Facebook post, which I'll just read. This comes from Randall Hopkins Phelps, and he says, Sunflowers is the Beard After Hours episode of season 3. It just has a different feel than all the other episodes of season 3. However, that said, there is some pure greatness in this episode. Possibly one of the funniest moments of the whole series is the Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid homage where Jamie teaches Roy how to ride a bike. 100% agreed.
Yeah.
Completely.
I can't turn the other way.
Oh, and then the other part too is as they're just diving more into that too, is as they're like they do the whole montage of him how to teach, and then we see them later and they're riding next to each other and they're having the conversation, and then we see them visit the windmill and they decide to go back, and as they're riding back, we just see Roy just start veering off
into the bushes.
Into the bushes and fall over. Fuck. There is so much comedic timing.
And then Jamie on the bus says, "What do I do with my stuff?" Well, I can't even say stuff the way they stuff. What do I do with my stuff? And then he hands the fanny pack to Will, and he says, "Burn it or trash it or something like that."
God, there's so much. That whole thing with Jamie and Roy, like I said, is my favorite part.
Yeah.
Of the entire episode. It's just so damn good. But that leads us then into the voicemails that we have, and which we have 2. And the first comes from our friend Alex. So let's play that now.
Hi all, Alex Kruger here, leaving feedback for Ted Lasso Season 3, Episode Tulips. There are so many directions to go with this week's feedback. I think I'm going to go chronologically. Now, I love that the characters and fans alike all knew Higgins didn't mean any kind of insidious red light district escapades, but I really love how it sets up a Higgins and Will adventure. You've heard me for weeks call Will Baby Higgins, and we got to really see that in full force this week. I love seeing Keeley on the Things to Do in Amsterdam screen. I love it when a bit pays off 2 seasons later. Now, when Rebecca first comes out of the canal and drives off on the houseboat, I'm pretty sure this is the most laid back and casual we have ever seen her in this entire series thus far. It really shows how pent up and wound she has been for 30 plus episodes and how badly she needs a day unplugged and wooed. I don't know about anybody else, but I was blown away when Roy pointed out that his obstinance in refusing to learn how to ride a bike was in fact a detriment to his grandfather's legacy, as opposed to the protest he always thought it was. Now, I've taken stupid stances like that so many times just to realize it was a childish reaction. And it just further shows Roy's ever-present growth and maturation. Trent and Colin's conversation always brings me to tears. What Colin is asking for in life is so freaking reasonable, but understanding that it's reasonable doesn't mean it's attainable because of the attention that would come with his coming out. It really humanizes a circumstance that is so polarizing in sports, a player coming out. I love the Americanicity of the restaurant when Ted got there. Even the music going in had a very Danny Elfman vibe when he started on his little inspiration vision quest, and that was fantastic. I know I said it before, but it's one of my favorite stereotypical American restaurants on TV, with the top spot belonging firmly to the good place. But at the end of the day, everyone on the team got what they needed. Ted became inspired again. Rebecca became moved and wooed. Colin felt free and visible as himself. The team feels that they've released their pent-up energy. Higgins lived out his dream. And Roy and Jamie found the partnership they desperately needed. This episode doesn't have the best rating on IMDb or whatever, and that's fine. But I think it's because this isn't an episode that is mostly funny. It's an episode that's mostly beautiful. Season 1 was LOL funny at every corner, but this was sweet and earnest and heartwarming and beautiful. So I give it a 10. This is one of my favorite episodes in the entire series. And that's it for me this week. Keep up the good work. And as always, Gazelic.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, we didn't mention Keeley on the TV, but that was something worth just kind of like a quick mention. So, yeah, I don't really know what else I can contribute to that.
Yeah, that was great. It's just great having Alex on week to week.
Yeah, I mean, we do still have like 6 more episodes left. I think we should make every effort to try and have Alex back on before we wrap for the series.
100%.
And maybe try and get like Des or Greg on too before we'll try. Well, I'll reach out to people.
Definitely Greg. I haven't heard from Des. We haven't heard from Des on this podcast. No.
We haven't heard from Des in a long while. Yeah. So I know he's listening because he makes comments, but apparently Des doesn't know how to comment back. Sorry, Des, for the call out. All right, that leads us to, of course, our final voicemail of the feedback, and that, of course, is our friend Steve Brown.
Hello, Ben and Kristin. This is Steve, and I don't know how this one got away from me this week, but I should be getting this in time for Sunflowers, Ted Lasso, Season 3. I agree, Ted. This sport drives me nuts. Exhibition matches are called friendlies. He can just say he has a date with someone special in the red light district of Amsterdam. Jamie is way too excited to be training in Amsterdam. Okay, I missed everything that Ted was texting on his screen. I never can read texts on TV. What is that cream on Beard's face under his eyes? What is that?
It's not cream.
A private party? 2-hour drive? What? Is there really a one tulip place in Amsterdam? Come on, Danny. Apparently, I don't remember much about this episode at all. I don't know why. There's a little kid's room in this guy's houseboat. How does Jamie know so much about the movies that were filmed in Amsterdam? Was this the psychedelic shrooms bus driver that he's talking about that he's now mixed something into Ted's tea with? Because Ted's going to go on a trip. Oh, and Trent Ever the journalist is going to follow. Which player is this? Is it Colin? That's his name? I don't remember. What kind of dryer takes 2 hours and 40 minutes to dry your clothes? I guess a really tiny one? Oh, and we've all seen Pulp Fiction. We know what a foot massage means. Roy thinks windmills are fake. Well, that didn't take much prompting for Beard to just leave to go experience Amsterdam on his own trip. Oh, Ted did drink the tea. Rebecca does look good in that dress, though. Wow, that's quite a breakthrough, Roy, about your grandfather and not knowing how to ride a bike. I have not been on a bicycle in probably 30 years or more. I don't know if I'd be able to ride again. Let's go find an effing windmill. Wow, this is a great conversation between Trent and Colin here about what it means to be an athlete and be homosexual. And wow, it's moving. They just cannot make a decision as a team, can they? This guy, this server host at the Yankee Doodle Burger Barn, hilarious. Oh, is Gazella kind of like forget about it? I guess not. There are no words to describe this restaurant, not for me anyway. And everybody's dancing, and the players are having a pillow fight. And Roy and Jamie found a windmill. So did they or didn't they? And Beard showing up. This is crazy. Okay, I've ran too long. See you next week.
Okay, first off, Steve, I agree with you completely. What dryer takes 2.5 hours to dry clothes? Even a small one, it's just Rebecca's clothes. It's not like it's a full load.
Yeah, but if they were really nice clothes like she has, it was probably on the lowest no heat setting.
But even still, like at 2.5 hours, like
I don't know, who cares?
No, but when he said that, I got triggered because I thought the same exact thing when I was watching the episode. Yeah, but thank you for that, Steve, Alex, and everybody who left feedback for that as well. And I got to play this just because I haven't played it all episode. But let's go find a fucking windmill! I've had that on the soundboard for so long, and I haven't used it a lot because I was saving it for when we got to it. Yeah, but thank you everybody for the feedback. As always, we encourage you guys to leave feedback for future episodes. Easiest way to do that, just visit our website, revisitedpod.com. There you can find links on where to subscribe, listen, leave feedback, all of that fun stuff. Or you can always just email us directly, feedback@revisitedpod.com. I definitely have a recommendation for this week. Is there anything from you this week?
No.
Okay. So my recommendation this week is kind of leading into Vincent van Gogh a little bit. I've talked about this series on the podcast before. However, I'm not recommending the entire series. I'm recommending one specific episode. Season 5, episode 10 of Doctor Who. It is an episode titled Vincent and the Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
It is no lie my absolute favorite episode of the entire series. It is emotional. It is so well done. Because it is Doctor Who, yes, there are science fiction elements involved, but it's not like Vincent van Gogh is an alien or anything like that. Vincent van Gogh is Vincent van Gogh in this episode.
Season 5, episode what?
Season 5, episode 10.
Okay.
It is Matt Smith and Karen Gillan as the Doctor and the companion, with Vincent van Gogh. First off, the actor that plays Vincent van Gogh portrays him fucking perfectly, both in mannerism and physically. But the story, man, by the end of it is just so wonderful and emotional and touching. And there's a reason why it's my favorite episode. And if you go online and you look at and Google like top episodes of Doctor Who, it is on every single list of that.
Well,
of those. Episodes.
You had me at Matt Smith.
Yeah. Well, Matt Smith's he's a great actor, but he was wonderful as the Doctor as well. Mm-hmm. And it's not like you need backstory of any of these other characters. It is a standalone episode of Doctor Who. So you can go in and you can watch this episode and just be entertained by what it is. But season 5, episode 10 of Doctor Who, it's called Vincent and the Doctor. That's my recommendation.
I love it.
For the week. Any final notes or anything before we get ready to head out?
We finished Lost.
Yes, I knew you were going to.
Yeah.
What's been without going into too much detail, what's been the overall reaction?
Danny immediately launched into a season 6 rewatch, and it is her favorite show she's ever watched. She told me this every day since we ended. Okay. Adam is going back and watching all of his favorite Charlie episodes, which is what he's wanted to do since. He loves Charlie. When Charlie died, his love for the show, just petered out.
It's a tough loss.
Well, and then we had that episode with the submarine right before the ultimate finale, and he was like, deuces, I hate everybody. And Dave really liked the ending, which is great because for years he's been saying how stupid the ending was. But I think we all agree that if you're going to watch Lost, you need to watch it as a binge. It is a show that you cannot take a year off in between seasons and expect people to stay with it. And the writer's strike did a lot of damage to that show. And I think that if you haven't given Lost the proper chance that it deserves, quite frankly, from the original time that it was airing that you watched it, I highly suggest just watch it again. Binge it.
So, your husband clued me into something.
I know. Did you find it?
I found it.
Oh, yes. Okay. I think we should do a podcast episode.
Oh, my God. It is 101 episodes.
Holy crap.
I have to figure out a way to put it on so we can watch it. But I found it, and it is something called Chronologically Lost. It is somebody who re-edited the entire series chronologically.
I think that's amazing.
So I'm very curious how that's going to play out.
Me too.
and in watching it. So I will find a way to add it. I already have it. I've already downloaded it. I've discovered it. I've downloaded it. So I already have it. I have to find a way to add it so we can watch it.
I cannot believe that we didn't find that.
No, never knew a thing about it.
Right.
And I also want to say too, the Getting Lost documentary that has been in production for a while has wrapped and is now in the editing process.
Yay!
So we should be seeing that.
We're going to return to the island.
We will do an episode discussing that documentary. Yeah,
I'm
at some
so
point.
excited.
Because apparently it's in the editing, and we should be seeing. I think the producer said hopefully before the end of the year we're going to see a release of that documentary.
Cool.
So we'll see. So yeah, we're going to return to Lost at some point, just for a little bit, like nothing too in depth. But I also want to say too, on the other side of that, next week we're officially revealing our next series.
Yay!
So we're going to do that at the top of the episode next week. Most people already know what it is because we've kind of been hinting at it, but the official announcement will be the top of the episode next week, or next episode when we reveal what show we're going to dive into when we're done with Lasso, because we only have 6 episodes left of Lasso, but
Makes me sad.
Means it doesn't mean we can't rewatch it. I will rewatch this series over and over again.
Oh yeah. But I just love being in Lasso mode.
I know, it's so great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, next episode, season 3, episode 7, The Strings That Bind Us, is the next episode we'll be covering. So with that being said, thank you as always for listening, subscribing, telling your friends, which we still encourage you guys to do. But until next time, we'll see you guys back out on the pitch. Take care.
Bye. Namaste. Bye-bye.